Fires on the West Coast and Sally on the Gulf Coast. Storm Team 4 tracking Sally, which was downgraded to a tropical storm within the last 2 hours. Storm made landfall as a Category 2 hurricane earlier this morning near Gulf Shores, Alabama. Slow moving. That storm dumped more than 2 feet of rain in some areas. And now you can see there on the radar, it's slowly making its way through the southeast. Check out this new drone video. Some of the damage left behind in Gulf Shores. Several buildings have collapsed walls and facades, their roofs damaged, significant flooding. Cut the beach from the rest of the city, cut it off right there. And the strong winds even knocking power to more than 500,000 homes and businesses in Alabama and in Florida. News First Jay Gray live in Mobile, Alabama, just about 50 miles northwest of Gulf Shores. We see that
they survived Hurricane Katrina. You can see they didn't make it through Sally.
An early morning violent attack. Sally, a Category 2 hurricane with sustained winds over 100 miles an hour, pushing across the beach near Gulf Shores, Alabama. Slowly creeping inland and continuing its assault as daylight bites through the clouds. Rain soaking and eventually swallowing everything in its path. In some areas, the total could be more than 35 inches. In other places, the problem is the wind, tearing away the sign of this hotel, ripping through homes and businesses, and rolling this tractor trailer on the bridge over Mobile Bay.
It threw me completely. I was not expecting this at all.
Early, it seems the worst of the damage is from the water, which in many areas is still rising. The National Hurricane Center warning of catastrophic and life-threatening flooding from the rain and storm surge.
We are asking you to shelter in place. We are asking you to seek higher ground.
But for some in Pensacola, getting to higher ground may be difficult. This section of the 3-mile bridge gone.
I will tell you it's bad. It's going to take a considerable amount of time to clean up from this.
Right now, though, cleanup will have to wait. Creeks and rivers across the strike zone already pushed past their limits, expected to continue taking on water for several days.
We'll either get a boat out there to pick you up or a high water vehicle. We anticipate the evacuations could literally be in the thousands.
With hundreds of thousands dealing with what Sally left behind.
Yeah, another big problem, power outages here in the Mobile area, about 175,000 without electricity. Steph and Natalie, when you look at the entire strike zone, that number climbs to nearly 500,000.
Oh, wow. All right, Jay Gray, thank you so much for that in Mobile, Alabama.
Not to clean up.
This is a segue here into Storm Team 4's Dave Bryce. They're really feeling it, Dave.
Yeah, the winds subside. The flooding and that damage takes much longer to recover from. So let's go to it right now and talk about what's happening. The rain totals are simply astonishing. Gask, Alabama, that is where we're looking at right now. 18 inches or more in Pace, over 17. This gives you an indication as we head into the Florida Panhandle, 16, 17, 18 inches of rain. That flooding is catastrophic. And keep in mind, all of this kind of meandering is kind of a light term to use, but that's literally what this storm is doing. It's at a walk, kind of this pace of a walk, if you will, and look at the amount of rain it will spread all the way from Alabama right through Virginia. And in fact, in the area right around downtown Atlanta, we could be talking upwards of 8 inches of rain as this storm continues to work its way through. Meanwhile, an area to watch right here. We're looking at Sally and talking about it. Teddy on its way toward Bermuda. Vicky back here, another area to watch, and yet another one as we are now in the downslide of hurricane season. Here are those 3 named storms we're talking about. We only have 1 name left. That's Wilfred, and we have 2 prime areas that could develop into that storm and Alpha, which would be the first Greek letter we use, a 50% chance of Invest 90L becoming a storm in the next 48 hours, 70% over the next 5 days. Then we head out further into the Atlantic. This is Invest 98L, and that with equal chances of developing over a similar time frame. So the Atlantic still continues to churn, and we have much more of this season to go with only 1 named storm left. Outside right now, a stunning picture from Chopper 4. The beautiful colors, That, unfortunately, is courtesy of the fires out west that we topped our news with today. That's going to begin to subside, and then tomorrow we'll roll into cloudier weather. This is another vantage point as we look to the south. Here's a look as we head into the weekend, and you can see those temperatures are going to begin to drop significantly into the 60s. Why? There's the cold front. It's kind of a dry front. It's going to slip through. A chance of an isolated shower tomorrow, primarily to the south of the city, but cooler air behind it, hour by hour into tonight. Temperatures in the 60s and then into the 50s to the far northern and western suburbs, settling into the lower 40s by tomorrow. Clouds begin to thicken on up, and as we head through most of Thursday, again, I think we stay dry with the exception of a stray shower. And then Friday, that cooler air takes hold, and that takes us not only into the weekend, there we go, but right into next week as well. Look at those low temperatures both Saturday night and Sunday night under clear skies. Temperatures in the city get into the upper 40s, potentially into the 30s as we head to some of the far suburbs. I'm going to step out of the way. Let's look at the forecast for the Jewish New Year, the first night of Rosh Hashanah, called Erev Rosh Hashanah. That's Friday night under partly cloudy skies. Then we look at autumn beginning on Tuesday. Look at that, 69 degrees is a high temperature with a low of 50, and you can see a nice, dry, autumnal trend, if you will, right through that 10-day forecast and into next weekend. We finally see a warm-up. That's a quick look at the numbers. We'll send it back to you.
Looking good. Dave Price, thank you so much.